Oh, I've already everything I do is trackable, Dan. So, yes. So I have reached a point with YouTube, in particular with YouTube. Um, I think you're I know you've been around for the past little bit, Dan, but I think you've only been around for this game and maybe a little bit before that. So I can offer a little bit of insight into this. Um, I didn't start streaming 6 to 8 hours a day until about 3 months ago. Okay, so you came on board just as I started streaming like full time. I spent the first 2.5 years of my content creator career as a content creator, not a streamer. I did stream every single day, and I have streamed every single day since I started doing this full time in February of 2022. But I never streamed more than 2 or 3 hours a day. And the reason for that was because I could always make more money uploading videos to YouTube than I could from streaming. Because when I was first getting going, yeah, exactly, reviews, guides, let's play sessions. So I would go live for 2 or 3 hours every single day, playing the games that I love to play. But outside of that, I would just create guides, do reviews, talk about movies, talk about TV shows, do tabletop. We would do lots of different things on the channel. And that worked very, very good. As things began to grow, the stream numbers started to grow. And so in the beginning, we go back 2 years ago, maybe 10 people would watch the streams. And then that grew to 15 to 20, and then that grew to 25, and then 30. And the tipping point was about, I would say, about like July of this year. So July of this year was when I went up in June to help my brother move. I came back and um, we were doing stuff in July, and then just suddenly at some point, my daily streams went from being 30, like 25 to 35 people, and we started going up. And it started getting bigger and bigger. And then suddenly we were playing No Man's Sky, I think, in August. And all of a sudden I was hitting the Kingmaker slot on Twitch. Kingmaker slots, there's 3 Kingmaker slots on Twitch. So it's the top 3 people streaming in any given category. So suddenly I was getting Kingmaker slot multiple times while I was playing No Man's Sky. And suddenly I was getting like 100 to 120 people watching the streams. And then I was doing my second playthrough of Starfield, prepping for Shattered Space, and I hit the Kingmaker slot a couple of times on Twitch for Starfield. And I just started multi-streaming with Twitch a year ago. So before it was only YouTube, and then in October of last year I started multi-streaming on Twitch. And the Twitch numbers have never been as big, and they won't be for a long time because I have like 40 plus thousand followers on YouTube, but I only have like 2,000 on Twitch, and that's over a year of growth. So if I get like right now we're early in the morning. I think there's only about 35 people watching between the two streams right now. That's pretty normal for this hour of the day because the majority of my community members aren't up for another like 2 to 3 hours. So in about 3 hours, we will start to see, we'll get up to the 50 to 60 mark. So depending on what game I'm playing right now, I have a pretty good minimum, usually of around, let's say 50. Like I've been averaging about 50 people per stream for the past 3 months, and it is game dependent because Diablo 4, I played Diablo 4 um, on launch day when that Vessels of Hatred came out, and I started off with 100 people. And then by the end of the stream, I was down to 15. And so when I saw 15 people watching the stream, I just shut it off. Because it was dipping off, and I'm not gonna say, because the thing is like if there's only, and I do have a minimum now, as a general rule, if there are less than 30 people watching the stream, I usually will stop streaming because I can make more money uploading a guide. Because here's the thing: if it takes me an hour to make a guide video, right? It takes me 20 minutes to record it, 20 minutes to edit it, and 20 minutes to upload it and write the description and make a thumbnail. So it's 1 hour of my time. I can make more money uploading a 1 hour guide than I can being live for 1 hour with 30 people or less. So for me, it's an economics thing. So if there are at least 30 people watching the stream, then I'm going to make more money than I would uploading a video. So if there's at least 30 people for 1 hour, I've made more money than I would make uploading a video. So it's economically worth it for me to be live. And considering I've been seeing 50 plus viewers for the past 3 months, including multiple games where I've had 120, like I think with New World of Tournament as an example, we were averaging 80 people per stream. That was the average. This game, we have been averaging 60 per stream, 50 to 60 with this game. I don't know what Stalker 2 is going to be, so that one we'll see. Um, I don't know how that one's going to pan out. I also don't know how Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is going to be. But as long as I'm getting more than 30, 35 people, then I'm making more money than I would be if I was doing videos. So from an economic standpoint, when I saw those numbers start to get bigger in July, I said, well, I'm at the point finally where I can be live for more hours per day because it's economically better for me because I make more money now than I would if I was just uploading videos. So that's how I've looked at it. Um, I don't necessarily want to be a streamer, if that makes sense. Like, I don't mind. I like streaming, it's fun and everything else, but this is my job. So I look at it from an economic standpoint. It's like, what's going to make me more money, being live or uploading videos? And it's just right now, for the past few months, I've reached a point where I'm making more money being live. That could change. That could change, and we could see a drop off in stream numbers, and I go back to where I'm only streaming 2 hours a day. So the concept in the beginning was always if I spend 2 to 3 hours a day live, then I'm maintaining a live stream for the people who want to be members of the channel, which maintains subscriptions on Twitch, it maintains memberships on YouTube, it maintains super chats, and it maintains bits and cheers, which are the donations and the memberships and everything else. And those are perks of the job. That's like icing on the cake. So the ad revenue pays my bills, and the memberships and subscriptions have helped me to pay for my upgrades. Bought me the headsets, bought me extra chairs, bought me the capture card, bought me a new laptop, bought me the PlayStation 5 partially. There was also tax refunds and other stuff in there. So the ad revenue pays for my bills, and then the membership subscriptions and bits, cheers, and things are what have helped me to increase all of my gear and make my streams better. And so that's why I've always maintained at least 2 hours a day of being live. Plus, it's a way for the people who are fans of me and people who want to be a part of an active community. You give them a chance to come together in a community setting by being live a couple hours a day. But guides have always been easy for me, and I definitely have a strategy to that. So I think the question asked earlier was, do you find this is, by the way, just Dan, you're getting a ramble rant from me at 5 o'clock in the morning, or whatever. You find that as long as you put out videos every day, you're likely to see growth. I totally sidetracked because the answer to that question is yes. I have a known strategy that I've been employing for many years, which is if you know how to work YouTube to your advantage, it's just about working SEO, search engine optimization. So I use a combination of what I already know working for clients over the years and doing YouTube for a very long time, combined with like ChatGPT and other tools which allow me to research what topics are going to work well. So guides are always going to work good. How-to guides, beginners guides, um, any sort of guides you do for any game you play are going to work well. Now, you obviously have to find a unique way to do it, and a unique title, and a unique thumbnail. But as long as you're consistently putting out guides, you will track upwards always to the right. You will always continue to track up and to the right. So just guides. Face, no face. You don't have to use your face if you don't want to. Morticimal Gaming is a good example of a dude who does not use his face on anything, and he still does exceptionally well. But guides always do well. Um, so, um, Thaindar says, do you have a minimum stream time before that cutoff? Right now, yes. When I'm maintaining like 50, 60 people, I just shoot for 6 hours. And I've been very open about that for the past few months. I tell people if the viewership is still strong at 6 hours in and I still feel good, then I will go to 8 hours. Um, I don't need to go for longer than six. 6 hours gives me the minimum amount of money that I need to make to pay my bills, combined with putting out a couple of guides per day and reviews. So as long as I just hit my 6 hours and the viewership is good for those 6 hours, my bills get paid, I get money put in the savings, and the rest of my day I can go work on other things and make guides and videos. But also, like Chris and I were talking about this the other day, like when I do a 6 hour stream, usually what I'll do is at the beginning of my stream, I will have a list of things that I will know that I'm going to cut out of that stream, which allows me to take videos that I can then clip and export, because Twitch has some amazing tools if you're multi-streaming where I don't have to use a video editor. So as long as I just timestamp everything, then I can go into Twitch after I'm done streaming and I can clip those portions of the stream and then I export that video to YouTube and I don't have to do any video editing. And it's ready to go. And all I have to do is put a thumbnail on it and put a description in it and I'm good to go. Other things when I sit down to record like a game guide, I have to do that manually, and then I take it into Filmora. I do my video editing. I add my commercial to it, where I still have the beard from like a year ago. Um, thanking all of our channel members and everything. Um, those take me extra time because I have to manually record it, manually edit it, and then upload it. And so there's an extra time factor there. So I try to do a couple of those per day, on top of having um, um, like when I stream, I know that I'm going to get at least 2 to 3 videos out of every stream that I do, plus whatever if I want to pull out like one YouTube short, TikTok short every single day. So I do try 6 hours a day is the minimum right now, but that might change. Like if the viewership drops off for Stalker 2, or if the viewership drops off for Indiana Jones or whatever, if you ever see me going back to only two-hour streams a day, you'll know why. But I always tell people like if the audience is here, I will be live. Like as long as there's, 50 people tuning in. But I won't stream if, unless I really love the game and I really, really want to do it, I won't stream. So like Black Ops 6 is an example. Um, and because some people dip in and out. Not everyone wants to watch every single game I play. And that's like, you can see that with any streamer. Like Carnage, he'll have 25,000 people on one game, and then the next game he does, he only has 1,500. It's the same thing. That's like me getting 250 people over one stream and then only 15 on another stream, right? It's the same ratio. The difference is when Carnage does a stream that no one's watching, he's usually getting sponsored for that. So he'll do those sponsored streams in between the ones that he gets guaranteed big numbers on, which offsets the revenue that he would get if he was doing a 25,000 person stream versus one that's only getting 1,500. So a lot of his sponsored streams, you'll see they're random, weird, off games that not a lot of people are watching, but who cares because he's still getting a paycheck for it. And that's also why if you watch his YouTube channel, those games might only get 10 or 15 episodes in a Let's Play series because he only plays it for as long as he's being paid to play it, or if he's not having fun and the community isn't reacting. Black Ops 6, I had fun. I did an 8.5 hour stream. We started off with like 80 people watching the stream. When it dipped to 12 people at the end of that 8 hour session, I didn't come back and stream Black Ops 6 the next day. Even though I had 4 hours left of the campaign, I said only 12 people were watching at the end of that 8 hour stream. We started off with 80 people, but only 12 were watching at the end, which means for whatever reason, my community wasn't resonating with it. Therefore, it's not worthwhile for me to continue to stream that game. So I finished it on my personal time and put my review out, and I moved on to the next game because it's not worth it for me to stream that. So yeah, the economics of streaming. We should totally clip this out and call this the economics of streaming. Hang on, I gotta find notes now. This is the perfect example. Also, occasionally people will ask questions in chat which turn into videos that I can then clip out on YouTube, which were not planned videos. This is the perfect example of that. Because I did not have this as a planned, yeah, clip it and ship it.